versus the Giants, 23 versus Carolina, 11 versus Washington, 6% in the loss Philly, 5% in the loss.
Man, what you over there counting?
Yeah,
It ain't cheap.
You know what I'm saying? What's what they call this analytics, man. I'm over here studying some analytics about this whole Micah Parsons situation, bro.
Yeah.
Damn.
Because it's going crazy right now, man.
Right.
The Twitter streets done went crazy. So
Got real back.
Yeah. We want to talk about this because, you know, obviously we independent.
Right.
We move different. We really, just keeping it real, most of us that's content creators that's independent, I would say that we kind of got the same mind to where we really keeping it about the star. So
right. And then the crazy part, ain't none of us talk. Ain't none of us talk to each other about none of this. You know what I'm saying? It ain't like we all got on the phone and orchestrated this, man. Like it's just so many different ideas, but it's crazy how we're all seeing the same thing.
Yeah. And I would also say, Tuck, in some ways we different, you know?
Right.
But as I'm kind of watching the debate, what I'm not liking is almost like the disdain for your opinion. And I'm gonna say all of us, especially that have been doing this for a while and that's really have grown, like yourself, at some point you have to be treated with respect.
Right. Right.
So, you know, it's one thing to disagree, right? Because me and Tuck do not agree on tight end. We don't.
Right. Probably never will.
We probably never will. But you know what? The way that we go about it is always respectful. So, you know, but we go get down to the football and just kind of break all this down. And I can't wait to hear your case. So you gonna be quarterbacking today, Tuck. Can't wait. Can't wait. And we got Amp.
Yo.
Yeah. And the both of them play linebacker. So this gonna be a good show, man.
Love that linebacker talk.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
Boss, you remember what I said our biggest need was going into the draft this year?
Did you say linebacker?
God, damn sure did.
Right. Yeah, I think that was the very first draft show we did was linebacker. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, here we are.
All right, here we are. No intros. We getting right into it. Let's go. Countdown over. All right, Tuck.
Yeah, so I want to start off with this, man. You know, like Boss was saying, like our content community is one of the best in the NFL, and I trust that all my brothers and sisters do extensive work when it comes to their opinions and their ideas. I know that it's never going to be something that they just throwing at the wall and hoping things stick, whether that's Boss, whether that's me, whether that's Law, Collier, you know, the list goes down the line. And so, you know, what I saw this morning is, you know, a few people, content creators like Law and others, talking about the idea of moving Micah Parsons around as a chess piece, which I definitely agree with. When we did the show on Monday, right, Boss, about this whole situation.
Yeah.
But then I saw the whole narrative kind of get spun and saw people get under attack. And no one has ever said, and correct me if I'm wrong, y'all, no one has ever said, make Micah Parsons the permanent linebacker. No one has ever said that. Like, it doesn't even sound right saying that. What we are all saying is Micah Parsons is one of our most versatile defensive weapons, and limiting him to just one position diminishes his full capability. That's all we was trying to say. So you have to be able to adjust. Now, take it with a grain of salt. It's Jay Tuck, the content creator in Kansas City, and it's Law Nation, it's Boss Cowboy, Okoye, and Amp, and the list goes on. Take us out the picture. The most respected and Brian Baldinger, who I posted on my video that I dropped a second ago, said the same exact thing. We had all pros Sean Merriman for the Chargers, who actually works and trains with Micah Parsons in the offseason. Tweet me and say, yeah, I called in and was saying the same exact thing. You need to move him around off the line of scrimmage. You had Emmanuel Acho come out and say the same exact thing about our linebacker room. You had Marcus Spears go on national TV and say the same exact thing that we are all saying. So what my concern and my frustration was, why wasn't the same conversation piece and, all the complaints and, all the people that were coming at us going at them for saying the same thing?
Right.
So, it's a whole different conversation, whether it's, you're trying to silence our voices. But here's what I'll say, Cowboys Nation, our voices weren't silenced because Michael Parsons damn sure got to it and he responded about it. So now it's in-house. It's a conversation piece. And like Boss is always preaching, the power of our voices is now being heard and we're causing a ripple effect. Because at the end of the day, everybody on this channel, on other channels in our community, we want what's best for the Cowboys, period. I don't care about the Defensive Player of the Year awards. I don't care about fancy statistical charts and grades and different things like that. At the end of the day, I want what's best for my Dallas Cowboys to help them win a sixth championship. And I know everybody who's watching our channels, they are watching for the same exact reason. So when Boss Cowboy comes up with the idea, I know it's coming from a place of he wants to win. So I'm not going to suppress his opinion. I want to hear it out. Okay, I might not agree. We cops and we don't agree on a lot of things, right? Yeah. I at least want to respect and hear him out. Amp comes with the idea. Let me hear him out because I know ultimately he's trying to win just as bad as I do. And I always use this analogy, Cowboys Nation. We are all in the studio trying to make a hit record. I might take a little bit of Boss's drums. I might take Amp's pianos. I might take Law's first verse. We all, what I'm saying? We all putting this together, trying to orchestrate ways to help our team win. And what we're doing right now is proactive thinking, not reactive thinking. We know proactive before it happens, before it comes and bites us in the tail in playoff season, like we did with Kellen Moore, like we did with some of these other issues. We are seeing a hole in the boat. And what we are clearly saying is if we don't fix it, this could be the reason why we are sent home in January with our head down saying, damn, another season escaped us. Here we go again. It's the same old Cowboys. So we are trying to find a way to prevent that from happening with proactive thought versus reactive. It's easy to go and fix the run defense and linebacker core next year. We can go get the draft some linebackers out there. You get Overshown back, you bring in some different free agents. We can fix it next year. We are talking about how do we fix it now? Right. And we have so many different ideas. We talked about Shaq Leonard. We did numerous shows on Shaq Leonard. We wanted Shaq Leonard. We was excited about the opportunity. It slipped through us. We were talking about the trade deadline. Let's go trade for Roquan Smith. Let's go. It slipped through. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been tossing out so many different ideas to address this room, and we didn't do it. So now with 3 games left before heading to playoffs, we are grabbing straws, trying to find what is the best solution, and that's what we're putting together.
Yeah, man. Let me pull this up real quick. Michael tweet. And Marcus Mosher, we had him on the show before. Cool dude. He said, I can't believe so many of you want the Cowboys to move Micah Parsons to off the ball linebacker. What happened to you all? That's what Dan Quinn said. Like, I'm not understanding, like, and it's almost like I'm seeing, like, it's almost like it's a group that's like, you idiots, and it's like, wait, I'm quoting Dan Quinn, like,
well, I mean, and it's not rocket science, boss. Like, if you go back to the Chargers game, he played off the ball. He even played middle inside linebacker. Micah Parsons has been a chess piece. It has decreased the last few games versus Seattle, versus Philly, and versus Buffalo. We are saying we need to get back to it. That's all we're saying. So, and I think the tonality of some of those tweets that was coming, that's, what I'm saying, what do you mean what happened to us all? What happened to our run defense on Sunday? That's what's happened to us.
Yeah,
all.
that's what happened to us.
Say that.
That's what happened.
Say
266 rushing yards on a Sunday afternoon. That's what happened to us all.
Damn.
So what do you mean? So that's where we are. Now, if you go through our losses, boss, like I was saying in my earlier video, this isn't the first thing. So if you pull up Micah Parsons' tweet, what he was trying to say in the response, he acted like, okay, Cowboys fans were just panicking. It's no big deal. It's no big deal. Well, the topic button that a lot of people's been talking about is like, okay, what's the difference between the Cowboys at home versus when they're on the road? But if you go and look at our home losses, we know what happened to Arizona, 200 yards on the ground, right? Philly or San Francisco on the ground with like 170. Philly got like 109. Then we saw 266. The good teams that we're running up to and on the road, they are lining up and running the ball down our throat. And Micah is explaining from this tweet that when he goes to off the ball, we pass more. Well, correct me if I'm wrong, Amp. You know what I'm saying? Don't we have the number 4 pass defense in the NFL? Don't we have defensive player Deron Bland, who has so many damn pick sixes? I done lost count. Like I was hoping last Sunday that Josh Allen would put the ball in the air, so maybe we can come down with it and turn the course of the game. You know what I'm saying? So I was just saying, like, tongue in cheek, putting Micah Parsons at offensive line, you know what I'm saying, at off-ball linebacker. If that would have made them actually throw the ball, I would have gladly took that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And I think this whole idea where we feel like Micah Parsons is the only player on this roster that can get pressure, I do not think that's the case. If you say Micah Parsons is a 10, no, hell, let's put him at a 12. Sam Williams is 8.5. You know what I'm saying? He's out there 6'5", 265, running a 4-4, playing gunner on special teams. You mean you can't get to the quarterback? We got guys. We got Fowler. We got Armstrong. We got guys that can get pressure. So,
boss, you remember a couple weeks ago, and great point, by the way, Tuck. You remember a couple of weeks ago, it was after a special teams play, punt, and to Tuck's point, Sam Williams got down there blazing quick. I was like, ooh, damn, I wonder what he would look like at linebacker. It was just a crazy thought, right? Mm-hmm. And now I'm seeing people, it start to gain traction, and more people are sharing that same idea. I ain't taking full credit for it. That was just a thought in real time. But what is the strength of our defense, right? It's obvious. It's our D-line. Mm-hmm. It's the deepest room on our team. So my question is, just thinking logically here for a minute, what would it hurt to make the weakest aspect of our team a little bit stronger by only putting Micah off ball part-time?
Right. Part-time, bro.
Let me go
You're
back
only as great as your weakest link. And if you can make that better, your defense as a whole is going to be better.
And see, check this out real quick. Like David Hillman, he said, y'all have been doing this Micah nonsense loud enough and long enough that Micah himself is weighing in. I hope you are all proud of yourselves. Like, I'm still not understanding why the idea of Micah playing linebacker, which he already doing, is being treated like
right. Right. Yep.
How was Micah used at Penn State?
So here's the fun fact about that, Amp. When I made my draft video on Micah Parsons, right? Why Micah Parsons is the weapon that we need for this Dallas Cowboys defense. What does all those people who are tweeting right now, what were they telling Tuck? There is no point of drafting an off-the-ball linebacker in the first round. It makes zero sense. There's no point. Well, me and some others who do draft scouting, we knew that Micah Parsons could rush the passer. That wasn't new to me. I seen it. I watched the Memphis game. I watched the Ohio State game. I knew I saw he could put his hand in the dirt. Yeah. So I saw those things. But everybody was like, no, he's just an off-the-ball linebacker. It makes no sense. It's a worse pick, Tuck. It doesn't make any sense, right? Now those same people are trying to limit Micah Parsons to just one position. When we saw his versatility, we saw the flex. That's what makes him special. Let's be honest. There's a pass rusher in every draft. Kayvon Thibodeau can rush. You know what I'm saying? You can go get you a pass rusher in every draft. Micah Parsons is a versatile weapon that if you put on the field, he can do more than just rush the passer. Why do people want to limit him to just that? And that's my concern. And I don't understand where it wasn't registering with a lot of people. Like we were making up some fantasy football thing. He's already been doing it. Like all
right, he already doing it.
Yeah, we were saying just go back to what you've been doing.
Yeah. And then I'm just not understanding it. And then you know what's not being taken into account? Situational football.
Right.
Situational football. Like I heard people making the case your most valued position is defensive end, which is true. Right? Mm-hmm. But situationally, you can take away defensive ends. Mm-hmm. If you can successfully run the ball, the pass rush threat is not the threat.
It's obsolete.
It's obsolete. So when you playing Buffalo and Josh Allen only has to throw 15 times, then the value of Micah Parsons just went down. Mm-hmm. So for people that's saying, maybe we need to get them to throw it, right? By stopping the run, right? And then this is the worst part. The worst part. I found this out today from Landlord that Josh Allen them took amp. Listen, this is crazy. Josh Allen them said that wasn't the game plan.
Mm-hmm. Oh, damn.
So
that was on the fly.
Mm-hmm. Yes, they basically when they start running the ball and they was like, they not getting out that big nickel. Let's just keep seeing if it works. And it kept working.
Yeah.
Basically, they beat our ass without even practicing for it.
Freestyle.
This lined up. And that's where I was wondering. Because I was like, okay, was it something that they saw on film where this was kind of game plan? Or was it because of the weather? They say, you know what, we're not going to put the ball in the air. We're going to, you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know. But then when Josh Allen's like, nah, that wasn't really our game plan. And Micah even said, he's like, we didn't prepare for them to run on us like they did. They came out there and remember, boss, when I sent you that clip, right? When they got that first push, when they got that 12-yard push, I think that's when the light bulb went off in their head and said, oh, we got him. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. And it's simple, right? I said simplify, Cowboys Nation. Y'all sitting there playing Madden and you run a stretch play over and over and person playing online can't stop it. Why are you going to switch it up? Keep running it over and over and over and over. Yep. And that was the same mentality. And Dan Quinn and this defense had no adjustments. They had nothing they can get to limit that. And here's the thing. That's them doing it on the improv. Now imagine with a team like Miami, who I think was number 4, 2 or 4 in rushing, something like that. Top 5 in rushing. You give them a whole week to prepare for it. Now, you give them a whole week to prepare for it. They're gonna come right back at you. So this was
I got you.
This play right here.
I got you.
Right here.
I had to pull it up. I got you.
Mm-hmm. They say, you know what? We're just gonna try to run the ball off, get a cool little start. Hold on. Wait a minute. These boys,
the whole team, the whole O-line came.
They are kind of light out here. You know what? I got an idea. How about we do that again? And how about we do it again and we're going to do it away from number 11 constantly?
And see, this is why I don't like,
Jesus Christ.
This is why I don't like the disrespect at people that's trying to think outside the box to stop the run, right? Mm-hmm. By talking about Micah Parsons playing linebacker. Because it's teams that we might face again that's going to look at the tape that's built better than Buffalo.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
and we'll game plan for it.
Right. That was Buffalo not game planning, bruh.
That was straight freestyle.
Detroit,
Miami,
San Francisco. Yeah.
Because
then we might see Philly again. Philly still has the #1 offensive line.
And they still have the capacity. We've been looking out, and I said this in my video, that Brian Johnson, the offensive coordinator, is so dumb. He's just abandons the run. He does the work for us. You know what I'm saying? But I guarantee you, if we see Philly again and it's cold and we up there at the link, they say, you know what? We're going to give y'all a heavy dose of Swift. You know what I'm saying? And we're going to sprinkle it in with some Jalen. And then when y'all sell out to stop the run, we're going to hit y'all over the top.
Over the top. Yep.
And that's the game plan. Because a lot of people are saying, well, Tuck, what about San Francisco? We went against Christian McCaffrey versus San Francisco, and Christian McCaffrey didn't get off. Yes, but we had Leighton Vander Esch, we had Damone Clark, we had Anthony Barr, we had linebackers in those games. We don't have the ingredients anymore. The cupboard's bare. And it's not a knock to Marquise Bell. Y'all know I love Marquise Bell. But when it comes to Marquise Bell, he's just light. He's 200 pounds, yo.
Yeah. And it's the sad, it's an echo.
Yeah. I hear it. It came out of nowhere.
Hold on, let me troubleshoot. We'll figure it out.
Sound like it done stop.
1, 2, 3.
Yeah, we good.
It's gone.
Yeah, we rocking.
All right. Man. That threw me off too.
You said the sad part is.
Yeah, it's the sad part about the game planning. God. So yeah, man, it's just it's not over. The teams are going to see that hole in the boat, and they're going to go out there and try to exploit it. And until we come up to a way to solve it, we can't.
I remember what I was saying. So the key part, that was the OC.
Oh, was it?
Hey,
what's up?
The echo came from the OC, man.
Miguel is a real fan.
Boy, damn. And somebody, it's
he called it straight out.
And Miguel said, "Is that the OC?" Yeah, it was the OC. Y'all been watching us too long, man. Y'all even know who messing up the sound. That boy Miguel said, "Is that the OC?" And he was right. That's the worst part. It was the OC. All right. But the thing is, like Buffalo, the fact that they said we stayed with it because we saw them in that big nickel. So that means it's coming, y'all. It's come on now. And see, this is the thing I'm really sick of. I'm sick of us being right on what we warning about, but then treat it like, shut up. It's like, wait. Our track record is too good now. It's too good. Like, you can't deny what we do on this new media. Shout out to my boy Landlord. He said, salute to Boss, the production goat. What's happening, Cowboy Nation, man? Appreciate that, big dog.
My God, Landlord over here too, man.
All right, so I want to kind of get into Micah Parsons a little bit, if you don't mind. Y'all don't mind? I just want to kind of comb through his tweet a little bit as well. Because, he said, what happened to y'all? Marcus Marshall talking about the people that want Micah Parsons to play some off-ball linebacker. So Micah Parsons responded. He said, it's because teams are running the ball and people like to panic. I'm probably leading every category in pass rush besides sacks. People are nuts. And if people watch film, they take shots and pass more when I'm off ball or out the game. We have to get better, period. So he basically saying when I'm playing off ball, they decide to throw it more. That's what he's saying. So.
But, like I said, okay, I respect that tweet. But it's like, one, if you pull up the other post that I sent you, Boss, about what he said this offseason about wanting to impact the game, and it's not all about sacks. You know what I'm saying? He wanted to be a game changer and change the game in all aspects, like an Aaron Donald. So that's where I was saying, okay, now I'm conflicted, right? Because I'm hearing one thing, right? Cowboys Micah Parsons wants to have an Aaron Donald-like impact, no longer concerned with sacks. But when I look at the tweet he sent today, that was all about just getting pressures and getting pass rushes.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where I was confused. Like, okay, so do we want to be impactful and change the game and really step up and fill the void? Or is it just about pass rushing and getting sacks? Because I'll ask y'all this, and I'll ask everyone in the chat, so to my guy Landlord for bringing this up, what's the difference between getting sacks and tackle for losses? The difference is we put one on a pedestal and praise it and give it all the glories and the accolades and the WWE belts and all, we do that for sacks, but tackles for losses is kind of, a lot of people can't even tell me who leads the league in tackle for losses right now.
Right.
If you come out there and get
the red-headed stepchild.
Yeah, if you go out there and get, it exactly is. If you go out there and get 2 sacks a game, you godly. But if you go out there and get 3 tackles for losses, it's just like, good play. Made a good play in the backfield.
Nice try.
Right, nice try. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
it's the same thing.
That's the reason why, and definitely I understand it from a money perspective. Sacks is where the money resides, but I don't care about where the money resides. I'm not caring about contracts. I'm caring about what's best for the Dallas Cowboys to help them win a championship. And it's just a competitive aspect, right? Now I tell people this. We had a similar situation happen with this very same team this year. Now, if we did this show this at camp, right? And we are sitting here listening, y'all. I don't give a damn what's going on. We have to move Deron Bland to the outside corner. Oh, there have been so many colorful graphic charts about how he's played at the nickel, how he doesn't have the size. He played primarily inside this year. There's no point of moving Deron Bland outside. That's just pointless. We need to go get someone else, right? No, right? But what happened? Trayvon Diggs went down. We had a void. Deron Bland moved over. Now, let me remind y'all, Cowboys Nation, Jordan Lewis played outside corner before. He had a lot more outside corner reps than Deron Bland. But Deron Bland was unique enough and versatile enough to fix our defense and our secondary. He moved outside, and look what's happening right now. It's the same exact thing with Micah Parsons. He's fully capable of playing linebacker. He is. For all these people like, well, he hasn't been in the film room long enough studying line. It's an instinctual position. That's the fun part about it. He's not. We're not saying play at middle linebacker. We're saying playing outside, weak side linebacker. I mean, it's so simple. And
Wait! I pushed the wrong button.
Yeah, you're good. But I was saying, like, they were easy to switch a Marquise Bell, an undrafted free agent, for safety to linebacker so easily. They don't think Micah Parsons can grasp it. Now, of course, maybe next game he's slightly off, but eventually, by the time we get to playoffs, he will be more than ready. And that's the competitor. You know what I'm saying? That's the Jordan. That's the Kobe. That's if you're seeing my team bleed out by the run, okay, let me go and stop this. That's what we need from Micah Parsons. Let me go guard this guy. That's what we need.
I think that's the disconnect. And Amp, I want you to jump in because we've been hogging, bro.
So he started. Tuck, you mentioned a couple basketball players just now, right? Keeping that same mindset. Sometime within the next week or so, I need Dan Quinn to go watch either a collegiate or professional basketball game. And the reason I say that is because in a basketball game, you will see lineups change drastically throughout the game. And the reason they do that is because you'll have one coach who will try to gain an advantage by putting a certain lineup out there, whether it be a tall lineup or a fast lineup or a heavy body lineup, or you want perimeter shooting. However, but they do that to try to shift the game in their favor. And then you will see immediately at the very next play stoppage, you might have 3, 4, 5 guys sub in to counter whatever that coach did. And I need Dan Quinn to understand that concept, because when you got a team who is openly and willingly trying to body you in real time, not after you watch the film for the next game, in real time, you have to be able to make those adjustments. Like Dan Quinn, he's got a good fastball. He's got a good curveball. I need him to develop his changeup. Because that's when you can shift the momentum in your favor and get a team to play how you want to ultimately get them, to your point earlier, boss, stop the run so you can get to the pass rush opportunities. We say it all the time. Pass rush is a privilege. But Coach Marvin and I had an interesting conversation on yesterday, and we were talking about Micah. And we were saying, look, he's got some immaturity in him. You sit down to the dinner table, and my daughter does this. She'll eat the meat, and she'll eat rice or potatoes. And what's left? The vegetable. Micah, I need you to eat your vegetables, bro.
Right.
Like, I need you to eat your vegetables. Like,
Stopping the run is the vegetables.
It's a whole plate. Like, I don't know where he got this. I'm too sexy for my linebacker shirt, but dude, you got to wear it, bro. You got to own it, because you are the leader of the defense.
And even if he don't play that linebacker, he need to own stopping the run. You got to stop the run, even if you at the edge.
Right.
Yeah.
Go ahead and post that PFF grade I just posted, because everyone wanted to have colorful charts today, boss. So I brought up a colorful chart today.
You know
what I'm saying? We got a colorful chart. Now, y'all look down at the Buffalo Bills game at the very bottom. What does that run defense grade show you? 39%. And this is purely off of Micah playing edge, because he didn't play off-ball linebacker versus the Buffalo Bills. So how did that help us on Sunday?
Right.
How did this help us? 18 pass rushes, okay? How did that help us? 0 sacks, 7 hurries, 2 assisted tackles, 1 missed tackle. How did that help the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday? So this is what I'm talking about. Just like you said, Amp, you got to eat your vegetables. Now, you know who is that child at the table who always cleans their plate, vegetables and all? DeMarcus Lawrence. You know what I'm saying? DeMarcus Lawrence eats all of his vegetables. You know what I'm saying? Makes a happy plate. He deserves to get the credit, but he doesn't get the credit, right? Because he's still in the edge. He's taking on those double teams. He's still out there getting pressures. He's helping in the run game. He's dropping back in coverage. If anyone deserves, he's one of our highest paid guys. He can sit back and say, "No, what? I just want to have fun and eat dessert and pass rush all damn day." It's more than that. Because I tell people, if a quarterback is dropping back, y'all, passing 40 times, and Micah gets 2 sacks in the first quarter, okay, good. We all doing the lion growl. You know what I'm saying? But then what happens after that? What happens on the run? What happens on the chips? What happens? There's more to the course of a game than just getting sacks. And I think that's where the mishap and the disconnect with a lot of people. If you look at the stat sheet, they just see the sacks. Like, okay, we want that all the time. But these teams aren't stupid. Just like you say, you can neutralize them, run away from them. Run at them. Let's do a three-step drop, you know what I'm saying, getting quick passing game. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's different things you can do, but this changes the game. That changes the game. To be able to scrape, to come off ball, to hunt down a Christian McCaffrey, or maybe you have to spy a Josh Allen or spy a Jalen Hurts. Like, you have to be able to add to your full skill set. And I think that Micah can, but what you said, like, does he really want to do that? Or does he want to be the guy that goes out there just getting sacks and that's about it? But if that's the case, then I need to kind of change my expectations for Micah Parsons if that's all he wanted to be. It's just a sack guy.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. No. It's the Lawrence Taylor, y'all, for y'all younger viewers, he wasn't just a sack guy. You know what I'm saying? Lawrence Taylor, who everybody wants to compare Micah Parsons to, no, Lawrence Taylor was a completely disruptive force. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, that's where I'm at with it. And it's like I said, from the content perspective, it's about what is best from the Cowboys. And everybody can clearly see what was happening. Like Amp said, where was your changeup? And here's the thing about Dan Quinn. I don't need your changeup today. You know what I'm saying? Of course, he's probably going to make some adjustments to our defense and fix it. Your in-game changeup is what we need.
Real time.
Because when we get in the playoffs, there is no tomorrow. You know what I'm saying? There is no tomorrow in the playoffs. So if we're sitting there and getting bled out versus San Fran, what are you going to do about it? And here's what we've been doing. Here is what's been covering up the Dallas Cowboys run defense. Our offense. If our offense is scoring 40 points a game, you know what I'm saying, getting out the gate, blowing teams out, well, then it's easy. Everybody can sit back and peel back the ears, get pressure, get your numbers, and do all that stuff. But when you're in a back and forth game, grimy, you know what I'm saying, on the road, it's a back and forth. You are going to need to get real stops to get our offense the ball back. And being able not to stop the run is how teams can go out there, bleed in the third quarter, bleed in the fourth quarter, and we all sitting back on the post-game show saying, damn, bro, what happened?
And let's dig into this real quick, because, see, I want to go back to something that you said. And I think it's a lot of people harping on this. A lot of people saying, which is true, It's very tough for Micah to come in right now and play middle linebacker. That's tough. We get it, you know. But he could do that too. Because see, what the spirit that I'm getting off of people is like this is a brand new position to Micah.
Right.
And it's not. Right? It's not.
What's
He
the
played it
numbers, Boss?
even as a rookie.
Yeah. Even
He
as a
played
rookie.
it this year.
Versus the Chargers, he played at 31. So here's the numbers on the inside linebacker. And I'm not even saying inside linebacker because we still got Clark, right? 17% of the snaps versus the Giants, 10 versus the Jets, 10 versus the Cardinals, 6 versus New England, 5 versus San Fran, 13 versus the Chargers, 31% versus the Rams, 6 versus Philly, 26 versus the Giants, 23 versus the Carolina, 11 versus Washington, and 8-2-8. That's just inside linebacker. So this whole idea that it's a brand new position he has no clue about, he's played it this year.
Yeah.
This year. And that's not even the position we telling him to play.
And this is the main this is what I don't understand. The main reason we all talking about this is because Buffalo took advantage of big nickel. So you have to think about how to solve that problem. You have to. And the Dallas Cowboys are lean at linebacker. That's why a lot of us in the offseason was saying get a linebacker to protect the queen, because we didn't want to force Micah Parsons to have to play linebacker. But because of what we are and where we are and what just happened with Buffalo, y'all are crazy to think we don't at least need to have the conversation. Like, come on. Like, you drafted him to be a linebacker. You discovered that he could pass rush. Now, Tuck knew he could. The OC knew he could. Boss knew he could. But the world didn't think so. So, I just, this whole flip it attitude, like, leave him alone. Don't touch him. Leave him at defensive end. Even if they running at him, even if they running away from him, even if they neutralizing them, just leave him there, because that's the impactful money position.
Right.
It's bad logic.
And exactly, here's the fun thing. We know how the Cowboys front office is. They have told us, Cowboys Nation, there's a concern at linebacker. They don't take any random out to dinner. They took and won and dined Shaq Leonard because they were trying, because they felt the void. Now, we just did a whole show on Monday. They even picked up the phone and called about Sue. You know what I'm saying? Which we feel like there's a void right there to go get Sue. They ain't took him no dinners. But Shaq Leonard, they had him. They were whining and dining him, smiling in pictures, because they know that there's a void at the linebacker position. And now we're just in a situation, we're in a bind. We've been trying to address it. I posted a clip 1,000 times of me talking about Ivan Pace. I love Demarion Overshown, but the moment Overshown went down, they should have already been making moves like, okay, boom, we gotta go help this room out, because they relied on LVE. We thought that Harper was going to be the guy. They cut him for a center, got rid of Jabril Cox. Like they cleaned house with all the linebackers because they wanted to go with all these safeties, which I like our safeties. But it's going to get exploited if they cannot go get some heavier bodies in there. I think someone broke down the numbers on Twitter. When you look at the pound per pound, like between what the Buffalo packages were versus our personnel, I think it was almost like 200 pounds of weight difference on the field from Buffalo's standpoint, from our standpoint.
They literally just threw their weight around.
They went big on small. They went big on small, and they had big Osiris Torrance, who we talked about, the University of Florida, get to the second level, pushing on 200 pounds Marquise Bell. Like I said, I love Marquise Bell, but this is outside of his pay grade. You know what I'm saying? These safeties, they're not built for this. You know what I'm saying? They're not built for this. You know what I'm saying? If you're being honest, like, even like an overs, like, it takes a lot of punishment. If you look at, like I said, a Leighton Vander Esch or a Harper, when you look at their pictures, their neck is thicker, their body is thicker. They're built for punishment, just like fullbacks.
Facts. You're right.
You know?
See,
you can look at them. They built different.
That's built different. Now
know
look
where
at
I'm
this
going,
picture, y'all, and then look at Marquise Bell's picture.
Yeah. Look at his neck and go look at Marquise Bell's neck.
Fat.
neck.
Right.
Pause.
Yeah.
Pause.
Yeah. That's built for collision. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like it's yeah.
Yeah.
Boss, so Tuck, real quick. I want to say, going back to last year, we were talking about Zeke and we were talking about Pollard, right? And just situational football. And Boss eloquently laid it out, and he was just talking about in terms of collision, when it's appropriate to use Zeke, when it's appropriate to use Pollard. Roughly, they're about the same weight, but they're constructed very differently.
Facts.
So if Boss was to show the picture of Zeke
Pollard
and his
Zeke,
physique to Pollard, it's night and day, just like what he showed to the defense. So you got to be able to understand situations, styles, build, all of that stuff, because all of it plays a factor. It's not just by chance or by accident that this occurred and this happened. It's a method to the madness. And just like what Mike Mark said, Boss, you've been playing the clip all week. Well, if it was up to me,
right,
I'd take a what? 280-pound tight end and line
And
it
splatter.
up. And splatter.
Yeah. He said I would splatter them dudes.
Yeah. And you play linebacker, right? So you know the difference of tackling someone with the physical brute. Your neck is always snapping back every time they come through the hole. Like it wears you down. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the biggest dude, but like when I see the teams have a little big, you know what I'm saying, bruising running back, you gotta tighten up it. I'm saying, put your chin strap on, put your mouthpiece on, because you're preparing for a collision versus a scat back. You're like, okay, I just gotta, you know what I'm saying, run, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, it's a different type of thought process. Even going, like you said, with the Zeke and Pollard thing. Same kind of stature, but there's different. It's different. It's power behind it. Same thing with kind of Rico. Anytime Rico runs, there's a pop. You know, and so it's like you gotta have someone that is willing to get dirty, nasty, and grimy and come downhill. And linebacker is a mentality, and we don't have that mentality outside pretty much of Damone Clark, and we have to pretty much hope and pray that maybe it's Evans. I mentioned the idea about Fowler. Of course, what did everyone do? Person, they little colorful statue. Well, Fowler hasn't played linebacker in over 8 years, and if you look at his, okay, cool. But we don't, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes when you go into your fridge late at night and ain't no food, you got to make something happen. You know what I'm saying? You might have to eat a mayonnaise sandwich. And right now, y'all, we got to eat a mayonnaise sandwich. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to make something because we are starving and ain't nothing in the fridge right now, bro. So we got to make something to eat.
Hey, and see, you know what's funny? The reverse of that worked. When Tank went down, it was nothing in the refrigerator but Micah Parsons. But his raw traits was enough to be phenomenal. So people just didn't know that Fowler's dad was the one that was like, he played linebacker.
Right.
His whole life. So when you go in the fridge, right, and you say, we need a linebacker. This one right here ain't played in a while, but let me dust off this expiration date. I mean,
right. It still look good. It still, you know what I'm saying? It still look good. Put a little hot sauce on it.
How many times y'all done smelt that milk?
Hell, my wife just did the same thing today when she said that this hamburger be big expired since the 15th. I said, man, we still good. You know, we still good.
Man, cut that little fungus off.
Hey, that's only the sell by date. It is not the use by date. They're very different.
Yeah. That's the same thing. It's like, you know what I'm saying? We still got to eat, y'all. We still got to eat. So,
real quick, and this ain't gonna be no 2-hour show. We almost finished, actually. Yeah. So with Miami, I actually want Bell.
It's more speedy.
For the speed aspect.
Yeah. Based on the matchup of their running backs. And how Bell had performed before. But Detroit,
Gibbs.
Yeah, I think we need to think about, like, so okay. I know I ain't supposed to go to Detroit. But we in Detroit. What's some of y'all, I'm gonna throw this on both of y'all. What's some of y'all linebacker packages and for what reasons? start with
Well, I
you.
mean, okay, because I mean, the first thing they're gonna come out there and do is go out there with Big Penny Sewell, and they also gonna come out there with Sam Laporta, and they're gonna get behind Jamar Gibbs, and they're gonna run the ball. And you know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna try to play the power game. And like I said, what I'm trying to prepare Cowboys Nation for is as we get into the thick of things, December football, which we're in, and also playoffs, the pretty style football kind of goes out the window. You know what I'm saying? The high flying, throwing 45 times and doing, unless you get into a desperate situation, it kind of goes out the window. So you're going to have packages where you're going to have Damone Clark and Micah Parsons, and maybe have Sam Williams. Like I said, I don't understand the disrespect when it comes to Sam Williams, but Sam Williams played 3 tech at Ole Miss. He's built for punishment. He's built for chipping. He's built for double teaming in that power game. That's what Sam Williams is built for. He's built for it tough. Why not have Micah Parsons come clean up off the outside hip of Sam Williams? You know what I'm saying? You can do those different things. And I feel like when you get to Detroit and we get in the playoffs, you're going to have to switch it up. And I'm just like, just from a simplicity standpoint, right? If you're an offensive coordinator or quarterback, I would love to come out the huddle every time and say Micah Parsons is right there on the left side. We ain't got to locate. He's on the left side. We're going to slide protect the left. Slide protect the left. Liz, Micah to the left. But if you come out, Micah to the left, okay, well, now he's to the right. Now he's in the A gap. Now he's off ball. Now he's middle linebacker. Now every time you come out, you're searching for him. And if you're trying to make your offensive line adjustments, 2 to 3 seconds of hesitation can be a delay of game. So those little things can add up while you're trying to locate one of the best X factors in the NFL. But if you just know where he's at, okay, he's right there. Tight end, shift over here. We're going to chip over here, and then we're going to run. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, why not mix it up? And it's nothing new. This is no magical tuck up at 3 a.m. I created this whole, fantasy. We've done it numerous times throughout his career. Just get back to it.
Yeah.
Ooh, somebody say, what's the dirt on Evans because he's way better than Clark? Oh, bastard. He's a bastard.
Yeah, he ain't from here.
Yeah, he ain't from. He wasn't drafted here. So like, what's your plan for Miami? Then what's your plan for Detroit, package wise?
For Miami, like you said, it's the speed. So I guess more of what we've been doing the majority of the season, the packages that you've seen. For Detroit, and I know, and you've heard McCarthy say this, when we make in-season acquisitions, he likes to be able to give the players a chance to ramp up. But how long ago was it that we got Evans?
Right.
Like, he should be ramped at this point.
Yeah, he should
Past
be
tense.
gone. Yeah.
So I would like to see more of him and the Clark combo. And it's no shade. Hear me when I say this. It's no shade at Marquise Bell. He's just not built for it tough. I would like to see even some 4-3. Or hell, Okoye did a masterful job with his breakdown early in the week, where we had a true 3-4 look. Distribution across the line was even. You couldn't pick on any one side, and you had your heavier guys in there. And those were some of the runs that we actually stuffed them on. But for whatever reason, we did it and forgot about it. Like, we didn't go to it often, but when we did it, it worked. So I need Dan Quinn to figure out what works, and when it does work, keep going with it. Like, that's, to me, that's common sense. And I'm not saying Dan Quinn is not an intelligent individual, but sometimes you can outthink yourself. You can outthink the game. And to your point, Tuck, as far as, the whole chess piece moving Micah around, the thing is, and I'm going to end it with this. If they can lock in, then you're getting locked out.
Right.
That's it. If they can lock in on you, then you get locked out of the game.
So check this, man. I will say versus Miami, and based on how slow Clark is diagnosing, I would want to see more Bill with Evans. I would want to see
Odell
Evans get some tick at that middle. Yup.
You said
I
for
would.
Miami.
Miami.
Agreed.
So I think the key is to really just to ramp up Evans, which I can see that. I can see that being the Cowboys' plan.
Yes.
Honestly.
Yep.
Yes. I would want to see it. You know, I would want to see it. Number 2, when you get to Detroit, I would want to see Evans or Clark at middle, but Micah at weak side. If you need him to do it.
Okay.
Just as a backup package.
Yeah.
It's a backup package. Because if he's at the weak side, he's not doing all the thinking. He's more so playing off his skills, his instincts, right?
Yep.
So all the people that's like, oh man, it's too hard. Okay. He not thinking now. That's Evans. That's Clark. They tell him where to go. They assign a strength, right?
Yep.
He goes to the weak side and he reacts.
Right.
That's it.
And that's the backup plan if they decide to do Buffalo. If they don't, go with your normal package.
With the normal package. And you know what else too, boss and Tuck? You know, a lot of times people say, you know, it's obvious Dan Quinn, our unofficial base, is nickel. But I need us to stop saying that, because in most instances, our base package is actually dime.
Yeah.
And the reason I say
that's real.
is because
that's true.
Even though technically Marquise Bell is a linebacker,
he's a nickel.
He's a converted linebacker. So truth be told, you're trying to stop a power run game in
with
dime.
Bruh, that's
what are we doing?
And then
you can't even do that in Madden.
Right, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, if you do that in Madden, all your people gonna get knocked over, Cowboys Nation. And why is that happening? Because they're just too small.
Yeah.
Go out there in quarters or go out there in dime and let me come out in 13 or 12 personnel. Everybody gonna fall over and you're gonna be like, why are we gonna pancake? Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, it is dime. You know what I'm saying?
It's dime. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We kind of mask, Bear as a linebacker. Yeah.
Fucking dime. And then you have to talk about we missed tackles.
Right.
Was it we missing tackles, or was we trying to get around blocks and missing tackles?
Yeah.
So, all right, we go wrap this up, man. We want to have an emergency show. So, I love some of the. Before we get out of here, Tuck, I want you to definitely conclude us with some of your thoughts, man. You got some good stuff here.
Yeah. So, this was a book that Micah read, and I kind of sent it to him, but I'm not sure if he got it from me or probably got it from Amari Cooper, but it was from Tim Grover. And from those of you who do not know who Tim Grover is, he has a book called Relentless. He trained, Michael Jordan. He was Michael Jordan's right-hand man, Kobe Bryant, Dwayne Wade, the list goes on. And he talked about, having that relentless effort, but he also talked about in that book doing sacrifice. And he had a quote that really stood out. And it's like, sometimes you just have to take advice, even really when you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's the thing he's trying to explain. It's like, all right, Micah Parsons, I know that, going to linebacker or playing a little bit more linebacker is not sexy, right? It's not the sexy position, but it's a sacrifice that you have to make for the betterment of the team. And he talked about, when he was training Michael Jordan, like how he had to change Michael Jordan's thought process. Like, it can't all be all about you. Sometimes you have to give a little bit to get more, to gain more, to be a champion. And that's the message I'm trying to get across to Micah Parsons. Like, listen, man, I know Micah was frustrated out there watching our run defense get gassed. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's too much of a competitor. And that's why when I saw that tweet, I'm not buying that tweet, y'all. It doesn't sound like Micah. You know what I'm saying? I feel like Micah, it doesn't sound like him. Tossing all them stats around, that was kind of fed. It's fed from somebody, right? But at the end of the day, Micah, you need to go out there, and if we're getting gashed on the run, say, no, I got this, because you are the game changer. Everyone talks about, Dak Prescott, game manager, but you are a true game changer. And you have the capacity and the capability and the versatility to go out there and change games at every level defensively. And I think that hopefully somehow it's going to get to you. And like I said, y'all, I'm not buying this smoke screen. If I had to place money on his off ball linebacker position increasing this Sunday, I'll take the over. You know what I'm saying? I'll take the over. I'll take the over.
Wow.
Yeah. I know that smoke screen when I see it.
Mm.
Smoke screen when I see it. He gonna play more. So, like I said, it's just
the
about
pressure up.
Yeah, the pressure's up. The pressure, he saw it. You know what I'm saying? It got too loud. It got way too loud. And now that he responded, who knows? It might even get louder tomorrow, or if undisputed or someone, you know what I'm saying? So it's like it's getting loud, and you're seeing people on a national scale talk about it. Like I said, they talked about it for Speak. Y'all know Speak for Yourself. They don't typically do context. Manuel Acho did great context on why we struggle. It's just big on small football, just like Amp said. Coming out there in dime packages, we come out in 13 personnel. It just is what it is. So, ultimately, like I said, I just think about what's best for the Cowboys defensively, and I think that having Micah Parsons as a chess piece is going to help us. But at the end of the day, y'all, I respect all of our content creators' opinions, but I know we will never just wake up and just say something just for the hell of it. You know what I'm saying? If we're joking or playing, y'all know what we're joking or playing. But I know there's been thoughts, there's been research, there's been hours of film, there's been a lot that went into this discussion on all parts. And all I'm saying is give us the same respect you give everybody else. If you're not going to at Brian Baldinger or Sean Merriman or who else about how they're wrong with their takes, don't have me. Don't have me. You know what I'm saying? Don't have me.
Ooh. And Tug, I gotta ask you. Tug, let's talk. We gonna talk very real.
Let's do it.
I know Tuck has heard from some super solid sources today about Micah being angry that he couldn't play the linebacker position. I want to kind of get your thoughts on that, and just kind of ways that where he can play the linebacker and become even greater.
Yeah, and the information from the sources I got was unwarranted. I was just minding my business on Twitter. I didn't even know these people follow me, right? But they're people who are very close to the situation. They're
super close.
Super close. I mean, about as close as you can get. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but it was just like, that he was frustrated about how the game went because he wasn't getting opportunities to go back there and stop the run, and they were just running from him. And now they kind of put us like a wide receiver. If a wide receiver's not getting the ball, well, they're kind of frustrated because they're not changing the game. Micah Parsons, if he's not making plays on the ball and he's out there just standing in no man's land blocking with the right tackle, like he feels like he's not changing the game. So I think that's why we saw some of the frustration. I think that's why I got the tweets and some of the messages, is because we said on our video on Monday, Boss, about his body language, where he was huffing and puffing and throwing hands in the air. So I think that was a clarification that he was frustrated because he wasn't put in a position where he can have impact. So we know Michael wants to make impact, y'all. We know he does. He's a competitor. He's been a competitor since the moment he stepped into Dallas. So I don't think this whole idea where, hell no, I'm not going to go. I feel like if Dan Quinn comes in and says, yo, I need you, bro. I really need you to lock in on this because where we're at right now, I feel like Micah would do it. I feel like Micah would do it because everyone else is doing it. J-Ron Curse ain't no free safety. He had to go back and play free safety. Then he has to come back and get the green dot. Then he has to play the star position. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just part of the game.
Yeah.
You got to do what the team wins. You know what I'm saying? If something happens and knock on wood and Tyron can't go, maybe we have to kick Tyler back out to left tackle, even though Tyler's playing phenomenal. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to be flexible. Right now, there's somebody at their job and they are working at 11 o'clock. Why? Because it's holiday season and their job needs them. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm sure they pissed. They don't want to do it. They want to be home. It's cold, but their job is requiring it and they got to do what it takes to get the job done. That's the same thing we're asking from Micah Parsons. Got to make adjustments and be open to adjusting.
I'm gonna say this, and then
real quick.
I'm finna conclude after say this. I ain't gonna say nothing else.
Okay, go ahead.
I think Micah Parsons is on some.
You think he is
on some no to linebacker? I think he is on that, and just from how I'm reading the tea leaves, like I could be wrong on that. It's just that to me, I'm just seeing, but to me, I'm like 99% certain that I'm seeing it right. It's too much us versus them talk. it's too much Dan Quinn having to say in the offseason, you are an off-ball linebacker. And I think I know where it's coming from. I think it's coming from his agent. Because if I was his agent, I would be telling him, hey man, my job is to tell you the quickest way to your bag. The quickest way to your bag is to just play defensive end and get sacks. That's how you get the big bag. Go look at the best linebacker bag and go look at the best defensive end bag. So I think it's a push for him to just play defensive end, you know? And when he plays linebacker, I don't think he really wants to. That's what, to me, the pouting is coming from. So, but I will say this. If he does, wherever he plays, he needs to stop the run. Whether it's the edge, whether it's linebacker, wherever he plays, it's a lot of people that's on Micah's head right now. Sean Marion, who was that? I forgot his name. Marcus Spears. Coach Marv. Like they on his head about not even just playing linebacker, but how you stopping the run at the edge, not having the effort that we seeing with DeMarcus DeMarcus Lawrence. So
and that's at DE.
So all of us are basically saying you not playing up to the greatness you are. You are a great pass rusher, but we want you to be great at all football, wherever you are. And if we need you at linebacker, we want you to also be willing to take it on. I'm done talking. I ain't saying nothing else.
So everybody out there who has ever had a job or has a job, I'm willing to bet next year's paycheck that at your job, current or past or present, future, your job, when you sign up, they say, we're going to give you X amount of dollars to do this job, right? But there's always this little clause in the handbook that says other duties as assigned, or it'll say as needs arise. Micah Parsons, this is other duties as assigned. So even though it might not be what you want to do, what you thought you were going to do, they're paying you, they're asking you to do a job the way they want you to, how they want you to, and when they want you to. But I want Micah to also understand that if you take on this challenge, and you body it, and you take it on wholeheartedly, and you put in the same effort that you did this offseason to become an elite pass rusher, you have all the leverage, sir, at the bargaining table.
Yes.
All of the leverage.
Regardless of what your agent says.
The agent is only looking at it at position to position.
Right.
But what your agent is not looking at is, okay, you tasked me to do this and I did it and I exceeded expectations on when I had my end of the year exit interview, etc., whatever. I exceeded expectations and you ain't gonna give me no damn raise. Damn that.
Right.
So he has to embody this, because guess what? The payday does depend on it. Now you'll be able to go to the negotiating table and say, I'm an elite pass rusher and I'm a damn good linebacker.
Right.
Pay me.
Right.
That's all I got.
He got a chance to be the Dak Prescott of the defense.
Yeah, and he really does, because honestly, y'all, I don't look at Micah Parsons like I look at a Nick Bosa. I think Micah Parsons is far more dynamic because he can do a lot more things. You know what I'm saying? So that's what makes him special. Like, I feel like limiting him, if I get Nick Bosa out of Micah Parsons, I feel like I'm getting half my product. You know what I'm saying? I'm getting half the capability. And so that's what Micah has to understand. And I said this on Twitter before this whole thing kind of blew out. Micah Parsons with 2 sacks and 6 pressures is good. That's a good game. Micah Parsons with 2 sacks and 6 pressures and 11 tackles, that's godly. You know what I'm saying? Like that's havoc. That's that blows the defensive market out the water. And he has the capability to do that. He really does. He really does. Yeah, exactly, Coach Marv. We want you to be generational, not just another Nick Bosa.
Right.
We had Joey Bosa, then we had Nick, then you have Von Miller, then you have Khalil Mack. Like there's so many of those. But Micah Parsons truly has the skill set to be something the league has pretty much never seen before.
Never.
Time.
Yeah.
For quite some time. So it's like, yeah, that's what we want out of Micah. But hey, if you want to be just a pass rusher, okay, cool, I get that. But that kind of changes my thought process. So we got some work in some other areas to really do.
Right.
There you go.
Well said, man. Well, Tuck, you did a lot of the work, man, so I think it'd be right for you to close us out. Also, man, on all the channels that's streaming, make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. We usually don't do shows on Thursdays, but Tuck blessed us twice this week with two shows that we wasn't expecting to do. These shows, again, came from a discussion, and we was like, bruh, you already know, when we start talking about like this on the phone, it's best to just hang up and go live, you know. So make sure you subscribe to not just my channel, but you also subscribe to Amps. You also subscribe to J Tuck. So what's your final words, bro? Getting us up out of here, man, and summing it up on what you really see in terms of linebacker or Micah Parsons himself just being able to go to another level.
Yeah, I think that's the most important thing. Just like Coach Marv, this wasn't a Micah Parsons hate show or anything like that. Is that we want the best out of you, and we have to keep it real. We love Micah, but it's like, yeah, you got to keep it real. Sometimes you got to tell your homeboy, like, hey, bro, you slacking a little bit. I want you to pick it up a little bit more. That's what a passionate fan would do, but also someone who truly cares about you says, I know what you're doing is good, but there's also more. So that's what this video is really about, and these shows is really about, is that, hey, we know what Micah Parsons is capable of. We want to see you reach your full potential, and here's some ways how, but also what is best to help this Dallas Cowboys team win the 6th championship. That's the most important thing on all of our minds. I know all the viewers' minds. What can we do best to help us in this situation? And like I said, I respect the content creators for putting our ideas out there. You know what I'm saying? And the criticism that I saw, I just wasn't pleased with it, because here's the thing, y'all. When we tried to warn them about Kellen Moore and these issues, we were called crazy, controversial, just making up stuff, making up lazy narratives, and then all of a sudden, boom. Those Kellen Moore mishaps cost us 2 good teams.
Yep.
I do not want to sit back there at San Francisco versus the San Francisco 49ers thinking like, damn, bro, they really took advantage of our linebackers. You know what I'm saying? Like, man, if we could have just made this, I don't want that to happen again. But once again, it's just proactive thinking. So that's what we're trying to do. Put all of our best ideas forward to help this Dallas Cowboys team win the 6th championship. Appreciate y'all.